Alexandra residents are still trying to rebuild their homes after that massive fire destroyed more than 500 structures. It's been 4 days since the disaster and donations of food and clothing still streaming in. But community members say they've lost important documents, including IDs and birth certificates. Gauteng Premier David Makhura has visited the area and promised assistance. ENCA's Malungelo Boy is tracking that story for us. He joins us now live. Malungelo, we spoke just a moment ago just about the promises that were made, twofold. The one about assisting with materials needed to rebuild the homes of those people, more than 500 homes destroyed. And of course, the very important issue of Home Affairs coming to the area to assist with those important documents.
That's right, Michelle. In fact, Gauteng Premier on Friday, David Makhura made those assurances that everything possible would be done to assist these residents to rebuild their homes, really, and rebuild their lives, and actually made an assurance that Home Affairs would also assist. In fact, he went as far as to say the Home Affairs offices are not very far from where we are, so it should be easy for them to access this area and assist these residents. Over the past 20 minutes or so, Michelle, we've seen officials from the City of Johannesburg Social Services. What they have, what they're currently doing is, Michelle, collecting details of residents, asking them what exactly have they lost in this fire, and of course residents detailing those stories that they've lost everything, including clothes and their homes and identity documents. As you can see, Michelle, there's a vehicle that's delivering a corrugated iron sheet to the residents. In fact, what you're seeing in front of you, Michelle, it's a structure that has been dismantled. So what they will do is literally just put it up and put it together. And I was told that it could cost up to about 2,000 rand or so to get your corrugated iron structure put together like this. So what happened here for people of Greenville in Alex, you know, is a tragedy, but also it's also people are making money of this situation. It's becoming a business because I mean, people can no longer wait, really, Michelle, to be provided those much needed building materials that were promised to them. So people are spending money, are spending savings. In fact, I was talking to a family earlier on, he's a father of 3. He was telling me that not only as the family have they lost everything in the blaze, they also lost their bus tickets because they were going to go home to the Eastern Cape this December. Now they've lost all those tickets that they had bought, and he has had to use, Michelle, some of his savings to buy the corrugated iron sheets so that he can be able to put up his structure up again, because he was saying that he can no longer be sleeping outside with his 3 children and his wife.
Yeah, absolutely. Just heartbreaking stories continuing to come out of that situation in Alexandra. Malungelo, any word from Home Affairs at this stage, whether they will be able to assist those who need their help?
Not as yet, Michelle, but one of the things that I'm also hearing from some of the officials that are working with are registering the people from that have been affected was that what Home Affairs officials or what community leaders will do is that they will take some of the lists that have been being compiled here and take those lists to Home Affairs, and residents then would be getting calls from officials from Home Affairs to go and collect or to verify few details that have been put down into those forms. And of course we wait though and see when will people get that necessary support that they need, and when those IDs would be issued, and when will they get those calls from Home Affairs officials? I also think, Michelle, it is important to say that the head of disaster management in Gauteng, Dr. Sithole, was here earlier on. He was here on Friday with Premier David Makhura when those assurances about disaster relief and Home Affairs coming here were made. And I did ask him whether when were the relief that was, the building materials and other relief that was promised by the Premier would be delivered to this community. He said, in fact, he can't talk to me at that time because he was rushing to a meeting with other stakeholders. I suppose, Michelle, that meeting is a meeting to discuss that important issue. I just want to quickly bring in someone, Michelle. I know we don't have a lot of time. Babu Opa, thank you so much. You're a community leader here. Have you heard anything from officials about what's going to happen?
I tell you, still, those lies are still existing.
What do you mean lies?
Nothing has been brought here, and nobody is communicating with us anymore.
So, as things stand, you're saying that you don't know what's happening?
We don't know what is happening, and we already taken a decision that everyone who can buy something to build must just do that and continue.
I saw some officials from the City of Joburg, right? They were registering people. Do you know what's going to happen with that?
They are registering them for those who lost their IDs and birthday certificate. So up to so far, nothing about material.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a sense that people are disappointed? Because that's what I'm getting.
I was inside here walking around. People don't have any more trust. They don't believe what the government came here and promised.
Okay, sir, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's one of the community leaders here, Michelle. I'm not going to repeat really what he said, but it's the sentiment also that I felt when I was interacting with some of the residents here.
Malungela, I'm just wondering, the point you made during your first answer around people losing bus tickets in the fire as well. We know that people spend and that they save for these bus tickets throughout the year so that they can go back to the provinces where their families are. I'm just wondering whether the bus ticket companies would be able to verify the identities of these people through their identity numbers, and whether these tickets can in fact be reissued. Perhaps that's something that we can follow up on.
Certainly, Michelle. I'm sure it's something that at least, bus companies could be able to do. I mean, if you verify your identity document and you're already on the system, so I think it's something that should be easy to do. But of course, bear in mind though, Michelle, that people have lost their identity documents. So how then do you present yourself to the bus company and say, I had booked this ticket, a ticket that was destroyed in a fire. I'm that particular person, but I can't prove that I'm that particular person. So it's a tough one.
Yeah, it is a tough one indeed. Well, thanks very much for that update. Malungelo Boy is tracking rebuilding in Alexandra after that fire destroyed 500 homes. That happened just last week, Thursday. Now,